As immigration protests rage across the country, President Trump standing firm on his executive order and his pledge to keep America safe. In a statement, he says, America is a proud nation of immigrants, and we will continue to show compassion to those fleeing oppression. But we will do so while protecting our own citizens and border. So what rights do these refugees have, if any? Let's ask Chief Counsel of the American Center for Law and Justice, Jay Sekulow. Jay, thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what rights do these refugees have, Jay?
Well, if the Constitution's not a suicide pact, and the Constitution does not give refugees an automatic status or a right to come into the United States, the immigration laws of the United States are just that, laws under government that allow for various times to have individuals come into the United States under certain parameters. But this notion that the left is arguing that there's this constitutional right or statutory obligation for the United States to admit anybody for any reason is incorrect as a matter of law, and it's incorrect as a matter of policy. And what the president's initiative, what the executive order put in place, is a common sense approach. It's something we advocated at the American Center for Law and Justice, and we're glad the president is put this plan in place, is a pause. A pause until we can determine that vetting actually is taking place so that we know who will be admitted to the United States, at least as much as we can know about them, before that fateful decision is made to actually admit someone to the United States. Now, look, Ansley, I'm a grandson of a Russian immigrant, so I'm all in favor of immigration, but it's got to be done in an orderly, legal method, and what the president's done is well within his statutory and constitutional power.
And other presidents have done the same thing, Democrats and Republicans, and this pause is only for 3 months. President Obama in 2011, his pause was for 6 months. What was your reaction to the president's statement saying of course we don't support oppression in other countries, but his main priority is to keep Americans safe?
No, the president's correct. President Trump's right. The first obligation of the president of the United States is to keep the American people safe. That's number one. By the way, President Carter prohibited Iranian asylum and refugees for a period of time as well. So those that are acting as if this is somehow out of the constitutional norm of the United States are ridiculous. They don't understand history, and they certainly don't understand the law. But let's look what the president did very quickly. The president put in place a pause, specifically as it relates to 7 countries that the Obama administration designated as particular areas or countries of concern. So that's number one. Number two, the 120-day pause on refugee. When you've got the director of the FBI, the director of Homeland Security saying we cannot determine appropriate vetting, and we know that ISIS and their ilk want to use refugee flows for access, as they've already done in Europe, what the president did was prudent.
Thank you, Jay.